Hey guys, for this video I decided I'm gonna start a mini series kind of thing. It won't be very long, it will be like 3 parts, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through the history of WrestleMania, and I'm going to point out 3 WrestleMania events where I think WWE really fucked up. And I'm going to go through those specific WrestleMania cards. I'm going to point out where they did screw up and rebook them to where I think it would be a better WrestleMania. Now I should point out that these 3 WrestleManias, they're not the worst WrestleManias. I'd say they're about in the middle, but the reason I'm picking these specific 3 is because I think they could have been like some of the best, but because of some bad booking decisions, they're not. So I'm gonna say right now that WrestleMania 9, 11, and 13 won't be on this list because I don't think you could have saved those WrestleManias from being that bad. But yeah, now that's out of the way, let's just get straight to it. Alright, the first one in this series, and I'm going to point out these are all very recent ones. The first one, WrestleMania 25, or if you're Vince McMahon and don't know the meaning of the word anniversary, the 25th anniversary. Now, let's just get straight to that. Can someone throw a dictionary at Vince McMahon's head and make him look up the word anniversary? Because I don't think he understands what it means. Now, to my knowledge, the word anniversary, the meaning of the word anniversary is the annual celebration of a specific event. Now, in Vince McMahon's logical mind, WrestleMania 1 somehow celebrates itself. How the fuck does that work? Vince, WrestleMania 25 is not the 25th anniversary. The actual 25th anniversary of WrestleMania would be WrestleMania 26. Now, how you managed to fuck up the simplest thing, I do not know. And you did it again with Survivor Series 2011. How you did this, I do not know. How someone in the back did not point it out and tell Vince about it, I have no idea. But whatever. I mean, I rip on Vince McMahon a lot on this channel, and some of it's a bit cruel because this guy is the reason I'm talking about wrestling right now. It's the reason I love wrestling, but God, he can be so stupid at times. And this is a clear example. Like, Vince, just look up the word anniversary. I mean, it must be quite awkward for you and Linda. I mean, are you gonna celebrate your 50th anniversary 1 year early, and then getting deep shit? Like, you know. But whatever, Vince. Yeah, getting past all that, we get into the card, and we open with the Money in the Bank ladder match, and I wouldn't change a hell of a lot of what happened here. I felt CM Punk was the right choice to go over, and it eventually resulted in his heel turn, which, like, everyone talked about Summer of Punk 2011, but Summer of Punk in 2009, that was amazing also. So there's not a lot of things I would do about that match. I wouldn't change it one bit. So then we get into the second match, and wow. The 25 Diva Battle Royal to crown the first Miss WrestleMania. Alright, the first thing I would change is why we didn't see the entrances. Especially of the divas that were returning. I didn't know I didn't know who was in this match. I had to look up who was in this match because, you know, the commentators did say a few of the names, but they didn't say all of them. So it made me wonder, who the fuck's that? Who's that? Like, someone tell us, or at least make entrances for him so we fucking know. But instead, all the divas come out at once, which looked completely staged and didn't make it look real during one of the worst music performances I've ever seen at WrestleMania history. Kid Rock, that was fucking horrible. Just saying. But then we get to the match and it's a cluttered mess. I mean, we don't even know who gets eliminated because commentators aren't even paying attention. I mean, Jerry the King Lawler's been his usual self. Michael Cole's been annoying like always, and I think the commentators just didn't care about this match, and I can't really blame them because Miss WrestleMania. I mean, does that hold any prestige? Like, I didn't mind the concept as long as there was a reward for actually winning the match. All you get is like some fucking crown. That's it. Like, it would have been alright if, say, if they won, they got a WrestleMania, a Divas Championship match. You know? Something like that, not just a crown. And you could tell that the Miss WrestleMania thing, it didn't mean anything because they gave it to Vicky Guerrero, for Christ's sake. And, you know, and after about 4 months, they just dropped it completely and just tried to convince us into thinking that it never existed. But yeah, this match was horrible. Everything about this match was horrible. It made no sense whatsoever, and yeah, I don't blame WWE for trying to forget it because it was stupid. And getting into the third match, we have Chris Jericho versus Ricky Steamboat, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and Rowdy Piper. This match was pretty good. It actually became very good when it came down to Steamboat and Jericho. And that's probably what they should have done in the first place. Should have just been Steamboat versus Jericho because Roddy Piper and Jimmy Snuka, they weren't in there for very long and they didn't look all crash shot. So it should have just been Steamboat and Jericho, and we got that match a month later at Backlash, and it turned out to be pretty good. So I reckon they should have just done that match at Mania. But well, I won't complain about it too much because it was still a good match. So I won't hate on it too much. But then we get into the Extreme Rules match, brother versus brother, Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy, and I actually really like this match. You could say they used a few too many weapons. I mean, they bring out a random poster, and then they used there was weapons all over the place, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I mean, I like hardcore matches more than any other guy, but I don't like it when they just bring out weapon after weapon and just do that. But it was still a good match, so I won't hate on it too much. I reckon it holds the same value as matches like Chris Jericho versus Christian at WrestleMania 20, Triple H versus Owen Hart at WrestleMania 14. Like those mid-card matches that they're not 5-star classics, they're not 4-star classics, whatever, but they're solid undercard matches that add to the show, and that's what this was. And it was good to see Matt go over because Jeff has always been the favoured brother. So seeing Matt go over in there at WrestleMania was really good to see. didn't add up to anything because Jeff ultimately came over as the better in the next few months anyway, but it was still good to see Matt win at Mania. So there's not a lot of stuff I would change about that match. Then we get into this. Rey Mysterio versus JBL for the Intercontinental Championship. And I can't really change anything here because it was a 21-second squash match. So, you know, it was a good moment to see Rey Mysterio win the Intercontinental Championship. So, I guess there's nothing you can really change. So, JBL quit after this match, and you know, I didn't really care. I never bought into JBL as a performer. He's a good commentator, I will say, well, for most of the part. There are times where he absolutely pisses me off, but yeah. So I never liked him as a performer. I thought he was boring. Quite honestly, I liked him better when he was in the APA. So I didn't really care that he quit, and yeah. I can't really change anything from this match. So then we get Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker. You can't change anything here, otherwise it won't be anywhere good, because this match was pretty much perfect. Like I said, it's my favorite match in WWE history. It's almost perfect. The only part I didn't like about it was the build up, quite honestly, like the good versus evil kind of shit. Like, I don't know, I just didn't like it. The WrestleMania 26 build up was far better. That was actually really good. If we got like that build up and then that match, it would be perfect. You wouldn't be able to do anything better than that. But yeah, I didn't really like the build up, but it didn't matter because the match was absolutely outstanding. Then we get the World Heavyweight Championship match. It was John Cena versus Edge versus Big Show. If I was booking, I probably would have just made it Cena and Edge, because Big Show bores me. There are times where he's okay, but this Cena's a pretty shit heel. I actually prefer him where he's just this massive giant who, you know, he doesn't go out of his way to be like a crowd pleaser, but he just gets that reaction because he beats on heels. But and I hated this fucking build up, this stupid love triangle kind of thing between Edge, Big Show, and Vicky Guerrero. I hate seeing Vicky Guerrero on the television because she's just so annoying with a freaking annoying voice, and she can't act. She's just a horrible performer, and we know for a fact that she can't wrestle. So, you know, I just can't stand to see her on the television. But we get this stupid build up, and it served no purpose because the only person that ended up benefiting from the whole storyline was John Cena, who was like the outsider to this whole storyline, and he ends up fucking winning because he has to have a WrestleMania moment, which winning the world title at this point is not a WrestleMania moment. And you know, like, how many WrestleMania moments does this guy need to have? Like, seriously. But whatever. I guess if it meant that it would end that storyline, like if to have John Cena win the world title would end that stupid storyline, then go ahead and do that. But I just would have made it Cena versus Edge, and I wouldn't have even involved Vicky Guerrero. I would have went back to their past or something like that. I don't know, just a better build up. The match was okay, like, but yeah, just the build up was horrible. And then we get to this, and oh boy, Triple H versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship, which I will admit had incredible build up, like Randy Orton versus taking out the McMahons. That was really good, but they completely bitched out Randy Orton. I mean, Triple H, this motherfucker, he can never make anyone look good at WrestleMania, except if it's Undertaker or I don't know, fuck, yeah, Undertaker, because they're buddies. But apart from that, he just has to make everyone look like a bitch. That's what he did here. This match was not good. I'm just saying, it was not a very good main event, and part of the reason for that was because you have this amazing build-up, and then they just do this match in such a stupid way that it just takes away from all the build-up. I mean, you have Randy Orton, like, he didn't really get a lot of offense in, especially in the last 5 minutes. And that's where I get to the point where Triple H made Randy Orton look like his bitch, because the last 5 minutes was just Triple H beating the living crap out of Randy Orton, and to the point where he was like pretty much begging just for him to stop. And when you take into all the build up that they did for this match, and then you do something like that, how do you expect us fans to take that stuff seriously? And I draw all of that match, I draw it back to the Raw before Mania. What happened there was Legacy was in the ring, and then Triple H comes down, and then Shane McMahon comes down, and Vince McMahon comes down. So Randy Orton's plan to take out the McMahons no longer mattered because they were returned. And what happened? The McMahons and Triple H beat the living shit out of Legacy. So who has the momentum coming into WrestleMania? Triple H. Who is the underdog coming into WrestleMania? Randy Orton. It should be the other way around. You're meant to feel sympathy for the face, yet he's got everything that he needs. He's got it all back now, so he has no reason to fight Randy Orton anymore, because he completely beat the dying shit out of him the week before. So this match in the end served no purpose, and Randy Orton was just made to look like a bitch. So yeah, that main event did not play off very well, and yeah, I think that's the case for this whole WrestleMania. If you change a few little things, this WrestleMania could have been, I wouldn't say it would have been like one of the greatest of all time, but it would be way better than what it is now, or what people think of it now. But because of some stupid booking decisions, they've, they just screwed it up. And even though it wasn't meant to be a celebration for WrestleMania, they treated it like it was, but the end result just wasn't what it needed to be, and as a result you have a so-so WrestleMania. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Tell me what you thought. If I might record the other two today, but if I don't, might wait for feedback. So I'd really appreciate it if you could provide feedback. Yeah, and then if I get good feedback, I'll continue the videos. If I don't, I'll probably do them anyway, but whatever. It'd still be nice to hear some feedback. So later, everybody.